Hey everyone, it's Angel again. I am back with another video. This week what I wanted to do is make a few of my own ink sprays out of some, they're not really that old, but they're kind of old, dollar store markers that I never really use. But if you've got some markers lying around that are, that are dried out, like this, I left this open. This is a Royal Langnickel marker that I got, I think, at Tuesday morning, and I accidentally left it open, and so it's pretty much dried up now. But the pigment is still in there, and so I can still use this if I want to. I may very well use it today. And then this is a really old Prismacolor marker, and they're alcohol based, which is why it would work. I wouldn't recommend doing this with like pigment markers. Like, see how that's all dried up. These are like years old. This is like years old. These still work pretty well because I hardly ever use them. I got them at the dollar store, which is why I totally feel comfortable, using them, because, they were only $1. So if my little experiment fails, then, I haven't wasted too much money. But, so all you're going to need is some markers, of course. An eyedropper helps. It's not necessary, but it helps. Some spray bottles. I'm just going to be reusing, this was a facial spray that I used up. And this is from, as you can see, some a cleaning product from my kitchen. So I've rinsed these bottles out really well, and so that's what I'm gonna be using. Some alcohol, and of course some water also. I just have this water bottle that I forgot to fill up, but I'll go get some. And something to use to get open your markers. Pliers are probably better. These are just some, I don't know, shears that I found, really strong shears that I found in my closet, not in my closet, in my garage. So I'm going to be using them because I can't find my pliers. And obviously some gloves to protect your hands. And this, I'm not sure if we're going to be needing it or not. This is kind of experimental, but I've got some pure glycerin that I got at CVS, and I'm gonna see if I can use this to make my my sprays water reactive, the same way that that distress inks are. So we'll see. I'm gonna do one ink with the glycerin and another ink without the glycerin, and then we'll see. We'll see. So I think I said we needed alcohol, right? This is just the CVS brand. Just, regular alcohol. That's what I used last time. So the last time that I made spray inks, I only used alcohol and not water. And what I found is that it kind of messed like with the integrity of whatever paper I was putting on. I think because, the alcohol was kind of affecting the chemical makeup of, the paper. So I think what I'm gonna do is just use a minimum amount of alcohol to get the pigment out of these markers, because it'll dissolve, the pigment in the markers, and do like, I don't know, maybe a 30% alcohol, 70% water kind of thing. I'm not sure. Like I said, this is only the second time that I've ever done this, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's it's going to be a good formula that I'm making here. So, and then of course you're going to need something to protect your desk. I've just got this old towel that I'm using. So the first thing that I want to do is get these these markers into the I want to open these markers actually, and some markers are easier than others. Like, see, this was like super easy. all I did was, you know, all I did was pull it open. And then, so this little thing here is what the pigment's in, and I'm going to cut it open so that, you know, it'll make it easier for the alcohol to like get into these little fibers and take it out. But what I do want to do is cut some of it, because I want to put some of this yellow in the other bottle, because I kind of want to make like a mix in here. So I'm just putting it in this little one, and I'm gonna take this thing, the tip, the felt tip, and kind of cut it apart and hopefully and put it in there. And then some markers are harder than others to open up, which is why I use these gloves, because the last time I did it got all over my fingers. So I'm just going to drop some of this alcohol into the bottle, just to get it, just to get the pigment out. And so I'm just gonna kind of shake it shake it up, and let's see, I probably should have been counting how many drops I put in there, but it's okay. Actually, I'm gonna pour a little bit more. Okay, oh, I may have put too much. So, okay, I've got the alcohol in there, and so this is the bottle that I'm going to, no, actually I was going to put glycerin in this bottle, but I'm not. I think what I want to do is, I'm trying to think, do I want a large amount of, red? Yeah. So I'm going to put this aside. And I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to take it apart and open it up, cut it, and so hopefully this will be a nice kind of a peachy color, probably. I don't know how concentrated it's going to be. So I'm going to put some alcohol. I don't know if you can see in there. Can you see in there? See how the pigment's coming out already? So if I let that sit, it's going to come out, you know, even more. And I've got yellow. I don't know if you can see. Can you see? I've got, like, you know, a little piece of that yellow in there, the yellow marker in there. So because I didn't want it to be like super red, and so far it looks like it's going to be like a like a nice deep color, but once I add the water, that's going to dilute the color quite a bit. And I feel like I put way too much alcohol in my bottle of yellow here, so I'm going to add a little bit of it. So I'm going to let this sit for a couple of hours, and God, I'm sorry, it's I live in such a quiet neighborhood, but you know, as soon as I start filming, that's when all the motorcycles and the really loud trucks come out. But anyway, so I'm going to let this sit for a couple of hours, and hopefully all of the color will, you know, will come out, and then I will add the water and the glycerin, and hopefully I'll have a couple of pretty sprays to use. Okay, so it's only been about 15 minutes. Well, actually, no, not even 15, 10 minutes. And I thought I would, I don't know, just check to see how it looks so far. So this is just going to be like a concentrated color. There's our pretty yellow. It's not going to be as yellow as that once I've got the, you know, the water mixed in with it, but that is what I've got so far. And let's see what our red and then little piece of yellow there we go. There we go. Cool, right? So I'm going to let this sit maybe a couple more hours. Well, it's only been 10, 15 minutes, but I'm going to let this sit for a couple hours. I'm going to put the caps on just in case they fall over, then they won't, you know, it won't ruin my desk. But so far, these are the two colors that I've made, and once I add the water, it's going to be, you know, much lighter than that. But so far, I'm happy with it. It has been about 1 hour, and it's ooh, look at that. It's at this point, it's about as high concentrated, you know, as I feel like it's going to get. Normally, I would probably wait about at least 3 hours before I would add water. This is, like I said, this is only the second or third time that I've ever even done this before. And the last time I did this, I used only alcohol. And it still worked, but it didn't work. I mean, it like I said, it changed the way that the paper was feeling every time I would spray it on some paper. I think because, you know, of the alcohol. So I'm just going to add all the water that I have. And so it was kind of roughly, you know, 1 part alcohol to like 2 parts water, or 3 parts water, I should say. So I may have put in a little bit too much water there, but so in the yellow, I am not going to put any any glycerin. Excuse me, I'm still getting over my cold. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5 drops about. So I put about 5 drops of glycerin into this spray that I've made. And so let me spray it a couple times, and you can already see that it's nice and bright. But that's the more concentrated solution, I think, because that's, you know, the alcohol and the you know, the stronger concentration of pigment was on there. But here's our yellow, and that's a really pretty soft, subtle yellow, and still smells like alcohol. So if you are sensitive to like the fumes, and so here's our pink, and it looks really pretty. So what I want to do now is kind of let it dry, because I'm going to do a little experiment with my pink side, well, both sides actually, and see if putting the glycerin in with you know, with the water is gonna make it water reactive. So let's dry, and then I'll be right back. It's pretty much dry, and it's really pretty. And so I'm gonna, since I put the glycerin in my really pretty pink color that I ended up with, I've got this mini Mr. little spray, and I just want to see if the glycerin is going to make it water reactive. And so I'm gonna spray it and see if we get any little water droplets effects, that mottled effect that that you get in distress ink. And I'm going to do it on the yellow side. So I don't know, so far I think it is kind of working. Oh no, maybe I should have done like a pink side. So anyway, while that's doing, I wanted to show you guys, because this is watercolor paper. Well, it's like a practice watercolor paper. I think it's like 90 pounds. It's not that wonderful as far as like watercolor paper, but it's good enough to like practice on. So it's probably absorbing the color a lot more. So I wanted to show you what it looks like on you know, like on regular paper. So this is just like book paper. And so I've got the yellow on this side and the pink on this side, and so it's not as you know, as highly concentrated of color on you know, like on kind of regular book page paper, but it's still really pretty. And so here is the other side, because it does bleed through, and I wanted to show you that it does bleed through if you think you might use it, you know, in your altered books. If you want to do something like this, it will bleed through. And I think it's because the alcohol in the formula, which I don't know any other way to sort of dissolve the color that's in the markers. If you guys know of one, let me know. So it is looking like, I don't know if you can see, it is looking like we're getting little water droplet marks in this. But I think what I want to do, because I don't see it in this yellow side, but the yellow is a little bit, you know, it's such a subtle color. Anyway, I don't think I would be able to see it happening anyway. What I should have done is made two dark colors instead of one dark color and one lighter color, and did something like that. But it's still really pretty. I mean, look what we've got here with just a dollar store marker and some alcohol and some water. And we made something really pretty today. Well, I did. But I think before I end this video, I think what I want to do is get another piece of paper and put them on each side, and sort of compare the two, because I'm not really sure if the little water droplets that I'm seeing are really from the water that I sprayed down, or if it's just from, you know, from the way that I sprayed it and the way that it's drying. Either way, it's really pretty, but I just want to see if my little experiment kind of worked. So I've got another piece of watercolor paper. So let's spray it on both sides. And I think kind of want to work it around, and so I did, I believe, 2 spritzes on each side, and I'm gonna dry that with my heat tool, and I'll be right back. I dried it. It's completely dry. I had to put these clips on because this is, like I said, this is watercolor paper, so it's kind of warping. So this is going to be my control group, so to speak. And so I'm going to just spray this. I want to get like some droplets, and let's see what happens. So that definitely worked. I don't know if you can see. So this is I didn't spray any water on this side, and it's you know, like where there's a high concentration of color, it's a bit more, you know, of a smoother color. And then I don't know if you can see on this side where the water is still wet, where I just spritzed it, we do have that really pretty mottled effect that you get with distress ink. So did I just dupe a distress ink, you guys? I don't know. But I was, you know, as I was looking at this, I was like thinking that kind of looks like worn lipstick, the worn lipstick color. So I'm gonna, I want to see if it is, you know, pretty close, you guys. pretty close, right? So the last little experiment that I want to do is I'm gonna try and see if I can get a high enough concentration of this yellow, and see if I can get that same mottled effect with the yellow, because if I did, then I don't necessarily need the glycerin. But if I don't get it, then it has to be the glycerin, because that's the only thing that is different about these two formulas. I mean, I've got, like I said, 1 part alcohol to 3 parts water with the you know, the felt marker that has all the color in it. It's just that in this one there's 5 drops of glycerin, and in this one there are no drops of glycerin. So let me dry that, and hopefully it's gonna be like a nice enough concentration of color. I'm gonna try to get it dark. So I'm gonna dry it and see if I can get the same effect with this. Okay, so it's dry, and I think I got enough of, you know, the yellow spray on to see if I can get that effect. But I think what I want to do is use my water dropper instead of the mist, just because I think it's going to give me a little bit more control and like make it a little bit easier for me to see where I got the water. And if I, you know, if I do get that effect, like, I think I'll be able to see it better. So let's see. I was in the middle of drying, and I noticed that I was getting a little bit of reaction from the ink, just with just water and no glycerin. So that's cool. So I don't need the glycerin. Awesome. I do think though that glycerin, I use glycerin to keep my watercolor, like mixing water, from drying out too fast on the paper. That was a tip that I actually recently got from watching The Frugal Crafter. I asked her a question about it, because I am having such a hard time keeping my washes wet. But yeah, like, look at that. Look what happened there. So another thing that I wanted to show you is well, so this is the original little test paper that I had earlier. So I just wanted to see if I could spray the yellow on the pink, and if it would show, and it kind of did. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm gonna do that on this side. So I mean, look at that, that's awesome. So I really did get that cool mottled effect. I mean, I just duped a distress ink, you guys, without even trying. So I'm gonna spray some of that yellow on, and just see what it looks like. Just bear with me a second. I'm having fun with my little science experiment here. So I just wanted to show you the yellow that I sprayed onto my pink ink is showing up. So is that not beautiful? I mean, and then so here's the pink on the yellow. And then once again, I wanted to show you guys the difference in the color, you know, between, you know, regular book paper. Obviously books have different, you know, kinds of paper, but I know on watercolor paper the color is going to be a little bit more vibrant, because the watercolor paper, it absorbs the water, but the color itself kind of rests on top of the paper, whereas in other more absorbent paper, it absorbs everything. So I just wanted to see if on this paper it's going to be, you know, water reactive also. I doubt it. I mean, it is kind of, I don't know, I dropped a little bit of water right there, and I can kind of see the color kind of being pushed out, but it might not be water reactive on this book paper, you know, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I'm going nuts because I can't believe I just duped Distress ink. I mean, I'll just show you guys again. Like, look, I'll show you guys again. This is really close in color. I mean, this is the highest concentration of it because I'm putting it, you know, directly onto the paper. But if you look at this, I mean, it's really close. Really, really close, you guys. So it is looking like it's water reactive on this book paper. I don't know if it's going to be on any other kind of book paper. I mean, these are just the papers that I have at hand, but it is looking like it's water reactive. It seems to be more water reactive once the paper is completely dry after I've sprayed it. But I'm really happy with the colors that I made. I think it came out beautiful. I'm happy to have this color because the colors that I have, my distress inks that I have, are most of them are really they're kind of a little bit too on the grungy side for me in my everyday art. This is even a little bit too sweet for me, but I did want to have something a little bit sweeter. And I don't know if you if you watch my channel, I have complained in the past about one of my favorite colors. Where is it? This one, Tattered Rose. This used to be my very favorite color, and it's turned. I put some alcohol in there just to see if it will help it, but no, this is supposed to be a really soft pink, and like it's just turned into this. It's still a nice color, but that's not the color that I want. Let's see it on see it even on watercolor paper. It's just kind of like this tired looking peach color, which is still a nice color, but that's not what it is. Actually, let me show you the on the ink pad itself, the color that it's supposed to be. I mean, look at that beautiful color. I mean, there's a big difference between this and that. This is more pink. This is kind of like an orangey, like a pale orange sort of color. It's more on the peachy side. This is more, you know, pink. But anyway, I know I'm rambling again, but I'm super happy with what I've done today. I made my own ink and it came out really pretty. I'm really happy that I get to use it, and I'm happy that I got to show you guys, because I had a request a really long time ago, like a year ago, about maybe even longer than that. I think somebody had saw that I made my own ink spray and asked me how I did it, and I said that I would do a video, and I never did. So yeah, so now I have, and I'm really happy about it. So thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me while I did my little science experiments. They came out pretty well, I think. I'm super happy with them. So if you like videos like this, please give me a like and subscribe if you have not already. Click the notification buttons if you want to know when I've put up a new video. I try to get 2 videos a week. I do at least 1 a week, but I try to get 2 a week if I can. And yeah, I'll be doing a lot more junk journal and watercolor videos in the future here. And if there's anything else that you would like to see on this channel, please, please, please don't hesitate to ask me. I'm always happy when somebody leaves me a comment. They make me so happy. So yeah, thanks so much. Have a great day, and I will see you again really soon. Bye-bye.